Well, we all know as the temperatures rise, it's important to keep hydrated by drinking lots of water. So we often turn to the convenience of bottled water. But what exactly are we drinking? And is it safe? Dr. Scot Ackerman is one of the First Coast's leading oncologists. He joins us every Friday to talk about important health issues such as this one. This one has been on the top of the mind of a lot of people because every day I think I'm grabbing a bottle of water. I've got one in the fridge. You know, sometimes I leave it in the car. Probably not the best thing to do. We're going to get into that in a second.
Not.
But first, let's talk about the different types of bottled water because they're not all created equal.
Right. So we have bottled water. People drink tap water. People drink bottled water. It's summertime. It's hot out. We're perspiring. We perspire to stay cool, and very easily we can become dehydrated. So I encourage people to stay hydrated, to make sure you drink water because you don't want to get heat stroke or any of those problems by being dehydrated. So it's super important to drink. And a lot of people go to the gas station and pick up a bottle of water and drink bottled water a lot. And so a lot of my patients ask me about bottled water. And they ask me about what kind of bottled water to drink. Well, there's two basic kinds of bottled waters. There's this like over here, this kind of bottled water comes from springs.
Okay.
And other bottled waters that come from, that are repurposed municipal water. So bottled water from springs are things like Evian or this Aquapana here or Fuji.
I know, I love the way they phrase it sometimes. It's like comes from this mystical spring in the middle of nowhere, and you find out it's like a little place in Ohio.
Right, well, Zephyr Hill is actually a little place in South Florida.
Okay, well, there you go. Other than that one, but some of the other ones, they make it sound like, you know, it's this big thing. All right, so which one is the best of these, though?
Well, they're different. The spring water comes from deep in the ground, and the water that comes from municipal water is water that's maybe from the river that is just purified and is cleansed. And the spring water may have certain advantages to it over the municipal waters like Desanti or Aquapana.
Yeah, whatever, that one.
Aquafina.
Yeah.
Because they may have more minerals. These are mineral waters, frequently from springs. They have high levels of calcium and potassium and other minerals in them. And so for certain people that may be lacking in certain minerals, they may be helpful. They're less likely, the spring waters are less likely to contain contaminants of some sort that might be in city water, that sort of thing. But both of them, both kinds of waters they're food. It's a food group. It's not a food group. It's a type of food.
Yeah.
So it's regulated by the FDA. So it's considered safe. They're both safe.
Okay, all right, but let's talk about the plastic because I alluded to it a second ago, talking about storing it in the plastic bottles, and that's been in the news a lot. A lot of people don't know about it if you're like me. You leave it in your car, it gets warm, that sort of thing. Not a good idea. So what about the plastic that it's stored in? Is it safe in general first?
Well, we've talked about plastics here before, and there are certain plastics you want to avoid keeping food in or heating food in or microwaving food in because those plastics can leach chemicals into the food that may not be safe. And that chemical that we're concerned about is BPA, B as in boy, PA, which is bisphenol A. We've talked about that before. The water bottles never contain that. Those are hard plastics that have the BPA. These water bottles are made with a chemical called polyethylene terephthalate.
Okay.
PET.
Okay, is PET better than BPA?
Yes, PET
okay.
or PETE. They're both the same thing. It's poly, P, ethylene, terephthalate. T and the E at the end of it. They may have it may say it in the small print here, PET. It may have a triangle with the number 1 in it. Most of them do. These are soft bottles.
How do you know if it has BPA in it? Does it say that on there?
If it had BPA, it would have a number 7 in that triangle on the bottom.
Why wouldn't it just say BPA? Why does it have to have a 7?
Well, but they don't have BPA.
Okay, all right. So that's something to keep your eye on for.
Or if you're really concerned,
glass is the best.
Glass, nothing coming out of glass. And the BPA is usually found in hard plastics. So there is some water that has BPA. You know the water coolers?
Yeah.
Those hard plastic ones, they have BPA in them.
Okay, so be concerned if that's in any way hot, if that gets warm, because if it's cool, it's fine, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Now what about drinking bottled water v. tap water? Because that's always been a big discussion, and you know, I guess it varies between municipalities, but is there one that's better than the other?
Well, you want to stay hydrated.
Sure, right.
So whatever way is easier for you to stay hydrated. Tap water is fine. Tap water is checked. The health department looks at tap water. The bottled water, though, is a big industry. Billions and billions of dollars spent around the world.
Bottling water was going to make so much money. It's like, geez, why didn't I think of that? You know?
But that's a problem because as people make money on water, then there's less emphasis on keeping the municipal water, clean, because if everyone starts buying, so
Okay.
so we should all want clean water. Clean water should be available for everyone, and the municipal water is all clean. In fact, municipal water, water that we get, that I turn on in my spigot, that we drink around our house, can be better for you in some ways than the bottled waters. They're fluorinated, so fluoride for your teeth is put in that water, and it's also better for the environment. If you're drinking the water out of the faucet, you're not buying these plastic bottles and throwing them away. So what my family does is we get those little bottles that you get them anywhere. You get them at a sporting goods store. They're refillable. We take them with us hiking or whatever. Just make sure it doesn't say BPA. And they all say BPA free.
Yes.
And you can refill that and with your tap water, or you can get a filtration system and filter your tap water if you like the taste a little bit better, and use that instead. But bottled water is fine. Just remember, recycle these bottles.
Recycle the bottles. There you
Right.
go.
Don't
I use
forget.
the bottles again over, but I'm okay because there's a number.
Absolutely.
There's no number 7 on
That's
it.
that's
Okay.
reuse.
Shoot.
Or
Did you catch that?
reusing is like recycling.
Okay, thank you,
It's
Dr.
even better.
Ackerman. I appreciate you, as always, coming on and for all the advice and for coming on every Friday and sponsoring this segment. And don't forget, if you have any questions about this or anything else that you want to know about, you can ask Dr. Ackerman on his Facebook page. It's simply facebook.com/First Coast Oncology. Ask whatever you want, and they'll get back to you.